Now let's check in on a few of today's top trending tickers. Nike shares closing the week on a strong note on the back of its first quarter earnings report. The retail giant Nike signaled easing concerns regarding a slowdown in China and saw inventories dip 10% compared to a year ago in its first quarter. So we talked about this one, Julie. It was beaten down heading into this print. Investors were sellers. There were even some analysts on the street heading into the print. They downgraded their rating, right, because they were worried about the consumer. They were worried about the China. And now maybe in part just a sigh of relief here today.
Yeah, most definitely. But a couple of things that are fascinating to me about this. One is the ripple effect that we are seeing, not just in other shoemakers today, right? Everything from Puma to Adidas to On Holdings. We were seeing a boost there, but also many of the retailers who sell through Nike shoes, from a Foot Locker. Even I think Kohl's was getting a bump today. Under Armour also got a bit of a halo effect. And the reason for that seems to be specifically what Nike said about inventories, where it saw some improvement in its inventory levels. Nike had embarked on a bit of a strategy to cut prices in order to clear out its inventory glut. And that seems to have worked. So then the thinking is, well, if it can do it, then others can, and maybe then they'll see some stability in prices and not as much cutting in the prices, perhaps. So that seems to be some of the chatter that I'm seeing around this broader ecosystem, if you will.
No, to your point, I mean, you look at the athletic gear sector today, Foot Locker, Under Armour,
I forgot Dick's.
Skechers.
That was the one I forgot.
Yeah, absolutely, all in the green.
Yeah, so big increases there. Here's a fun one that we've been watching today. Blue Apron shares. Haven't talked about that in a while. Higher after it was announced that Wonder Group would be buying the online meal kit company. Blue Apron stockholders will be entitled to receive $13 in cash per share of Class A common stock through a tender offer. So the shares up 134%. Overall, it's about a $100 million deal. Now, Wonder is an interesting company. This is Mark Lowry's food truck company that then pivoted into sort of a ghost kitchen company, right? But Blue Apron has been beat down for years. It's a very crowded field now.
Went public at $2 billion, and then competition, Amazon, Kroger.
Exactly. But lots of different meal kits. I mean, like every time you listen to a podcast, you can't get past it without hearing some meal kit promo and ads. And so it's a very crowded field. But, I mean, like, look at the highs of where we saw this stock.
Yeah, but now Mark Lowry weighing in here, he's saying this is going to bring him one step closer to achieving his goal, Julie, of creating a super app for mealtime.
Super app for mealtime. We'll see if that works. I actually used Wonder when it was still the food truck company. So basically what it would do is they would drive the truck to your house and cook the food, like sitting outside of your house and bring it to you. And listen,
when Mark speaks, a lot of people listen. Incredible track record. He's of course, sold Jet.com to Walmart for around $3 billion. So when he speaks, people tend to perk up. True. Shares of AnheuserBusch rising today after Bank of America upgraded its recommendation for the stock from a hold to a buy, citing margins appearing to have reached inflection point as cost of goods sold pressures have started to ease. Of course, this one, Julie, we know got caught up in a culture war issue that did affect the brand and the business. But this analyst sees better times ahead, talking about margins, but also talking about how they think this is a brand that's better positioned, especially in markets like Latin America.
I mean, basically, at what point does the negative get priced into the stock?
Right.
And so this analyst is effectively saying it's been priced in. And so after the beating that the stock has seen this year on the heels of that Bud Light promotion that went wrong for the company on a number of different levels, now, it's time for people to take another look, is what this analyst is saying.
Even with the pop here, though, still down nearly 10% on the year.
Yeah.